My dad was in the military at my age, but he got out when he was 22, but he still had those values to him and that respect that he demanded. So that's kind of what made me want to join the military. My grandpa was also in the Navy, and then my uncle was in the Navy, and I had a cousin in the military too. So I don't know, just I think because the main thing is what I've already mentioned, that it's like how much respect that my dad demanded without even actually saying anything, just like the way that he is. That's what I wanted, you know, and just motivation too, just and plus just to serve your country. There's no greater thing to do to me. I wanted to join the Marines, but my mom, you know, because I wanted to go to combat, I really did. And I was willing, hey, if I have to kill somebody, it's what I gotta do, it's the military, you know, what keeps our country free. So she didn't want me going in the Middle East. So I was like, all right, well, I'll join the Navy. Year and a half in, guess what, Mom, I'm going to the Middle East. She's like, I don't care, you're not in combat though. But we still had to deal with it, you know, we still had to, you know, deal with the war and stuff and people shooting over at the basin. So I actually was an airplane mechanic, and so we had the flight line out there, and sometimes these people obviously weren't allowed on base. And so they tried to shoot at us as best as they could on, you know, and try to kill people. And they would shoot it like 10 miles away from our base. And wherever it hit, it's where it would just blow up. And the shrapnel, the little metal pieces would just go everywhere. And like sometimes it actually did kill people, you know, and luckily it didn't hit anybody with us. But pretty much how they make it is like they just put all that little metal in a little cannon type thing, and then on the outside of it too, it's designed to blow up into pieces as well. So it just goes everywhere.
Were you treated any differently by anybody because you're female?
Yeah. Yeah, well, it wasn't just because I was female, is that I was also an airplane mechanic. Most females don't want to be mechanics. They don't like getting dirty. But I pretty much was my dad's son. Like, I just grew up, like, outside, like, wanting to be dirty. Like, I loved, like, actually being a mechanic was, like, my favorite job. But I really had to prove it to the guys. I really did. It took me 2 years to prove it to them. Like, I don't care to get dirty, you know, because at first they would just treat me, when I made rank, oh, you just made rank because you're female. But then, like, they started actually, then that's when I just was like, you know, I gotta be mean back. If I'm not mean back, they're just gonna run all over you. So that's what I had to do, like, just become strong and just be like, you're not gonna talk to me like that. And then they went from being my enemies pretty much to being my brothers. So, but the girls that didn't do that, they didn't stick up for themselves, they did not have a good time. And I was the only female out of like 25 guys in mine, because the only one to just not back down to them.
Were you ever sexually harassed being the only female? Mm-hmm. Was it ever physical, or was it just like?
At one point it was, but there are other guys that had respect for me and they stopped it from happening. It's when, you know, obviously I'm a sailor, I like to drink. So I was told this the next day that I had this guy that tried to get in my room after, you know, they put me, like my brothers like put me to bed. He tried to get back in my room because he knew I was passed out. And they saw him doing that and, you know, stopped it from happening. But that's the only instance I had was when it comes to the physicalness. But I know of a couple people that had, you know, been raped. And when they would say something about it, the guys would be like, well, you deserved it, you know, like, you know, you get around anyway. And it's like, no, like nobody deserves that. They really don't. I learned so much from that. It's, and plus like it's helping me get through college too. Like it's paying for my college on top of giving me rent. So it's like paying for your education after you get out. You know, that's always a plus. And I don't know, it just makes you want to work hard to things, you know. It's like, and not complain about everything, you know, just accept how things are, you know. Oh, be on time, you know, it's a big thing. I don't know, I think I'm so much better of a person because I've, you know, was able to just, you know, when before that I was a little punk teenager that said anything and everything to everybody that, you know, oh, you have a problem with me? Well, this is what I think of you. No, I learned to shut my mouth. You know, it's like just, sometimes words are left better unspoken, you know, and people have more respect for you if you just your mouth shut and just deal with everything.